What's up, guys? I'm going out to Santa Monica again for that 3-for-1 LP sale. Same guys last time. I'm a little bit late today. It's past 9 already. You're supposed to start at 9. I'm speeding over right now. I overslept. That's the thing about digging, is you gotta show up, you gotta be there as soon as it starts if you want to get the good stuff, because there's guys that are thinking exactly like you and they're gonna go over and pick all the good stuff out, and I know that's happened to me many times. So we'll see what my turnout is. I don't know. I don't have too high of expectations because I'm sure there are people already there, but head over, see what we find. One thing I never said to you guys is I actually invested in a couple of turntables. I bought these from an old friend who basically has no use for it anymore. My issue, I've always wanted to learn how to scratch, but my issue was I didn't have enough money to buy a mixer. So I actually got these two turntables in the mixer for a total of $150, which is pretty good. So I'm going to be learning to scratch sometime soon, maybe make some videos. But here's what I picked up today. It's much better than last time, I'd say. Last time I didn't use that much discretion in what I was buying. I kind of just took a bunch of stuff. But this time I actually had to narrow it down because of the amount of money I had to bring. So I did a lot of careful looking at these. Not so much for the quality of the vinyl, because the guy was a collector, or he buys large collections and sells them off, sort of like my Hollywood guy. And if they have something a little bit wrong with it, maybe a couple scratches on the record, or like a seam split or something like that, he'd put it in the sale. So none of these are in mint condition, but I already pre-researched them and got some values. There's some pretty valuable stuff, as you'll see. So here is something new from the Beatles. There's a ton of Beatles releases today, and I guess one of the rules of digging is whenever you find Beatles, take it. So I took everything that I found there from the Beatles. Here's the first one, Something New album. Jack McDuff and Gene Ammons, Brother Jack Meets the Boss. This one is just the front cover for some reason, plus the record, which basically makes it not very valuable, but good music. It's on Prestige Records, a good label. Junior Walker and the All-Stars, Roadrunner, some old soul. I've already previewed all these, by the way, so I know what kind of music it is. Yardbirds, Rave Up. Spooky Tooth, The Last Puff. Kind of got it for the artwork. Sort of early psychedelic, not early, but early 1970s psychedelic type stuff. Urubamba, this is like South American folk music, kind of. It's pretty good. Sam the Sham Review. Hawaii 5-0 by the Ventures. Gotta include the Asian model on the cover for Hawaii, of course. Sam Cooke with the Soul Stirrers, some gospel type stuff. Jeff Beck Group, great guitarist. Antonio Carlos Jobim, Bossa Nova. Mandrill, Composite Truth, sort of like Afro-Cuban funk type stuff. Another thing that I picked up was a lot of duplicates of albums I already had. So I just have a tendency to want to take as many copies as I can get of good albums. So here's my third copy of Electric Ladyland. Jimmy McGriff and the Big Band on Solid State label. Charlie Bird, Crystal Silence, he's an acoustic guitar player. Mongo Santa Maria, it's Latin jazz. Ike Turner, Blues Roots. 2 copies of A Hard Day's Night by the Beatles. Sgt. Pepper's, the mono pressing original. All the Beatles were original pressings, by the way. Cold cut single, some early house music. Hendrix, Smash Hits. Someone cut out the back cover for some reason. Nothing new that I've never heard, but it's Hendrix, so of course I bought it. Hubert Law's Wildflower. 2 copies of Magical Mystery Tour, both original pressings again. Hendrix compilation, As Seen on TV. Marvin Gaye Live. NRBQ Scraps. David T. Walker, he's a guitarist. That one's worth a good amount. This one is really good. James Brown. Anything from James Brown also I would pick up. get on the good foot. This is not that great a condition. All the seams are split and whatever, but at 33 cents, can't pass it up. Andre Crouch and Disciples, sort of gospel type stuff again. Herbie Mann, Stone Flute, basically buy anything by him. Meet the Beatles, very valuable, first pressing. Aretha Franklin, another artist I'll pick up anything from. Let It Be, Beatles again. Dougie Fresh and Get Fresh crew. Herbie Mann, again, hold on, I'm coming. This is an Israel pressing of this. It's kind of strange. Power Man, Lola versus Power Man and the Money Go Round by the Kinks. Comment by Les McCann, this is one of his vocal albums. Ella Fitzgerald, Hello Dolly. Performance, I think this is a soundtrack, but it has Mick Jagger on it, so thought I'd get it. Shocking Blue, it's a pop rock group. Dark Side of the Moon, second copy for me. Paul Kantner and Jefferson Starship, Blows Against the Empire. Woodstock compilation, this is my second copy of this also. The Standells, Why Pick on Me. This is some old garage rock type stuff. Based on the values I looked up already, this is the most valuable thing that I picked up. Retails for $50 or more usually, so that was a real good find. Best of Clarence Carter. Cheap Thrills, this is my second copy of this now. Crusaders. Fifth Dimension. Up, Up and Away. This is I have a lot of releases by them. They're a soul group, but most of their 70s stuff was kind of, I don't know, it's pretty average. But this is some of their earlier work, and it looks kind of psychedelic, so I picked it up. Aretha again. Sandy Nelson Cheetah Beat. I previewed this. It's pretty good, sort of jazzy rock. Stevie Wonder, I Was Made to Love Her. That's one of my favorite songs by him. Fifth Dimension's Stoned Soul Picnic. Just picked that up for the title. Harder They Come by Jimmy Cliff, second copy for me. Smokey Robinson, 4 in Blue. Combat Rock by The Clash. Scott McKenzie, who did San Francisco. Sammy Davis, The Going's Great, on the reprise. This one didn't have a cover, but this is Frank Zappa and Mothers of Invention, Roxy and Elsewhere. Best of Springfield, Look of Love. Shut Down, compilation of old surf rock groups. The Hollies, Distant Light. Marvin Gaye, one of his later albums from the 80s. Donny Hathaway, which I just put in a sample video, second copy of that. And lastly, Isaac Hayes, Don't Let Go, from the late 70s. So that's that. Peace.